Sorry guys, I think we are bad, so let's just wait for the rest of them. If they are coming, and then we are going to continue. If not, we might go ahead to do something else. All right, so I think you can hear me. If you don't hear me, please let me know. Put it in the chat box so I can know what you are thinking. So yeah, I like what I said, I use my phone, and so if my phone is out of the minutes and we have to stop. So let me know if you can hear me. Alright, thanks to everybody is here, and we just finished the sunflower question last week we lab. So I'm going to pull out the question, so I hope most of you guys already read the question. If you're not, and you can just go CCC questions, and then you just type CCC questions in the Google. And now you go to the first search item is called from the Waterloo.ca. So you click on the Waterloo. Now you should have the go to the past contest, and you click on past contest. Then scroll all the way down to find the CCC question, Canadian Computing Competition CCC. And click on 2018. Now here we go, and then we are working on the junior problems. That's what we have. So I am going to put the link here, and once again, if you can hear me, please let me know. Just leave a message on the chat box so I can make sure you can hear me. Otherwise, I think you're not able to hear me, and I may have to stop. Okay, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know. Right, so I will go all the way to J4. It's called J4 is called sunflowers. What sunflowers do is just like they try to spin the table, and they want you to restore. So last week we worked on the let's pull up the last week what we lab here. Okay, still no one hear me? So last week, I think we are working on this one. We are working on this one. So what we have is like we have a table. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Let me try. All right, so yeah, that's good. Good to know. Thank you so much. because if you can't hear me and then I spend a lot of time and no one can hear me. So we are working on this, and what we lab is like we want to build up a table called table 2D, which means that we have a 2D dimension of the table. And then we have the input. We want to row, like for example, we have this table and we want to put the table into the array. But this array is 2D, it's not like what we learned before. We just have a one dimension. What we want to do is we have multiple dimensions. Like here we have two dimensions. So I'm going to pull out my PyCharm. So go back to PyCharm. And I get it's weird, but let's just go back to PyCharm, and like I already have this one called project, and I roll it up and I go to my J4. So I have this, and hopefully you guys already convert the input from the string to integer, because whatever we do the input, it should be the integer, right? It should be the string. So that's why we use int to convert them to the number. But however, when we have the input like this, like I'm gonna show you like this, like 1 and 3 is a string. So that's why we use a function called split, and we split by the space into something we name it called row. But what row means here is just like a list. So I'm going to run this program one more time so that you can have some idea what we are doing here. So I'm going to run it, and that's not right. So I'm going to run the J4. Yep, J4. And I'm just copy the input. And I come back to PyCharm. Yep. So I probably have something long here, but it really doesn't matter. So we have 1 and 3, and then we will print it out something called row. But row is just a variable, right? But if you want to see what is row means, it means like this. It means like a list, because 1 and 3. So what we want to do here is like we have to convert from the this one to the number 1. So how are we going to do that? So let's just write a function to do this. Okay, we just write a function to convert a list into a list of string into a number. Let's just say convert. So if we put a list, for example, is string list, okay, string L, let's just string L, string list, and whatever we in the list, so we want to convert them into the number. So and just have the for loop in string L. Now you have to put the S into an array. So how are we going to do that? But in Python there is a shortcut, but we haven't used that yet. But let's just do it in the easier way. In the easier way, we have the result. We just define a variable called result, and in this result, and it's also a list. Okay, for this list, we will put the s inside, but s is a string, right? And that's why we convert them to a number. And after the loop, your result should be returned back to the caller. So we just return result. Okay. So from here, what we need to do is just like let me just comment out this part so you guys don't confuse about that. And now, after we split it, is list with the string like here, like 1 and 3 here. And what I'm going to do is just like we call this function and put the input after we split it to list as a parameter. Put it into this function, and now you have the row, and this row should be a number. And let's just print it one more time and see what happened. And I run it again and go back here, copy it. Let me just have it here and copy it and come back here, and now you will see it turn the string into the number, and which will help us to compare the corners, right? So but before we are going to move forward, we should put it into our 2D table, this table. All right, so instead of printing out, I'm just going to use the 2D table here. Oh, actually I already have it, and I would just put it into the row. And now I should have something like this, and I'm gonna print the table 2D, and we will see what's the result. And after that, I will let you guys to finish your code. Oopsie, I don't think that is good. And I copy it here. Sorry, here. And copy it again. And go back to my PyCharm and copy it. And now, you see, that is my 2D table. What does it mean? It means like in the first row it is 1 and 3. The second row is 2 and 9. And it is you can look it like in this way, right? Okay, so the first level, the parent level is list. So there are 2 items, the first item and the second item. And the first item is a list. And in this list, and they also have 1 and 3 as the item. And then the second item row is also 2 and 9. So it stands for the first list and the first row and the second row. And if we are going to do something, let's just put it more complicated and see it work or not. So last time we have the let me pull up my sticky note. And last time I have something like this. So n is 4, right? N is 4. So I'm gonna copy this part and put it in my test result here. And I may also put it into the checkbox. Hopefully you can get it. Hopefully you can get it now. And what I'm going to do is just like I have one more, just copy everything and come back here and click run. And now I will go to do this, and this time the table became this big list. So I will copy it and paste here, and I'm going to show you what does it means. It just means like this. It's also turn the input into a table, which is a list with the item of the list. Okay, so I will give you a little bit time, and so you can finish this code, and then we can move forward on that. So let me just rephrase what we did here. What did I do is just define a new function, and this function do one thing. Whatever you input from the parameter called string list, I use string L, and now I define a variable called result, which is going to collect all the items after we convert from the string L from the string into the integer. And then every time after I look through the item in, like for example in this row, the first one would be 35, right? Second one would be 32, and convert it to 35 and 32 into the number, and then I put it back into the list called result. And now after that I'm going to return it back to the row here. So this result will return it back to here. And after that you can have the row and append to the table 2D. And that's why we use print output table 2D. It will have these kind of things. So a list and holding multiple lists, so it looks like a table 2D, like a table. All right. So yeah, I give you some time, and you are going to finish it. If you have any question, please let me know. I know it's a little bit hard in the question, because if you want to do the challenge on the computer contest, you have to challenge yourself. So and I know there's another way to do this conversion, but today let's just do it in the easier way. Okay, please let me know once you're done. And also, if you are done, please just copy the result from the question, or you can copy the result from what I put it here, put it into the chat box, and you can try it out the result for them. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm going to scroll down. Hopefully you can see everything here, like here, just here. And let me see if you can see all of them or not. Yep, it is perfect. You should be able to see everything on the screen. So if you have any question, please let me know. For some of you, maybe the first time to into this question, so I may just give you a little bit time to read the question. At the meantime, I will tell you what this question means. It means just like this. This question is like they have the table, like this table. The first input is number 4. It means they have the 4 columns and 4 rows. But this table was originally it was like this. The first number should be the last one at the left top corner. From there, this flower will grow from bigger and bigger. This flower, and the second one also growing bigger and bigger, and the first one also grow bigger and bigger. And of course, the fourth one also do the same thing. They just keep growing every day. And they intentionally list the record like this one. The second row is longer than the first one, and then the first one is longer than the second one, and the fourth one is longer than the third one. And this, of course, if you have 5 flowers, it just keep growing, and they keep growing. But unfortunately, because they can spin this square, spin it like either can be cross-wise or anti-cross-wise, or cross-wise. And after they spin it, it should be something that looks like, for example, if they have the original table is like 10 is on here, and after they spin it, and the 10 will become here. And then how are we going to restore this table back the 10 here and the first row? And we found out there are 2 rules. The first one is like you have to find the smallest number in the corner. Like, for example, you have to go for the first corner, 35, the second corner, 19, and then the third corner, also 19 here, and the fourth corner is 10. So which one would be the last one, like the smallest one? So of course you can compare them because it's 10, right? It's 10. Now you will see the second row would be the first row would be clockwise. For you, if you don't know what I am talking about, you should read the question one more time, and you probably understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah. So let's just do a if query. Now here, we are going to compare, find out the smallest one. Okay, to find out the small one. So we did it before, like here. We have this code. We said that 0 should be the it should be the laptop, right? Laptop, and that one is the right top, and this one should be left bottom, right? And this one should be the right bottom. And now I'm gonna run it and see if it can show from the 35, 19, 19, 10 in here. So I'm gonna run this code. It's just like running, and put my input. So I have 35, 35, 19, 19, and 19, 19, and 10. So hopefully you can get what I'm talking about. Okay, now so for the first rule, I have to find the smallest one. So let's just define some variable to hold this one. So I may just have LT, RT, LB, and RB, right? So how am I going to find the smallest one, like the smallest one? Anyone have any idea? So if you want to know which variable would be the smallest one, and you can compare them with you can compare them with the if else, and also if you can do put all of them into a list, and then you use the minimum to find out the minimum one. Like for example, let me show you on here. Let me pull up my terminal, and I have Python and a equal to 3, 5, 1, and 20. Let me try min a. So you can find the minimum one, right? You know what I mean? That would be the easier way. Like you put everything into a list, and then you have the function, and now you can get which one is the minimum one. But here I don't do the list. I just compare them. Like so you might just do if LT is less than RT and LT is less than LB and LT is less than RB, and then you print LT. Okay, for you guys, if you are you want to try the minimum, use the minimum function, you can do minimum function, and I do it in the stupid way. Okay, so I may just do this else if, and again you just do RT is less than LT and RT is less than LB and RT is less than RB, and then if there is the minimum one, you just like is RT. Okay, else if RT is less than LT and sorry, it's not RT, it's LB. LB is less than RT and LB is less than RB. Then you print LB. Yeah, I know why I'm doing that, because And sometimes when you are in the contest, you might not think too. You might not solve the problem in a very complicated way. So that's why I demonstrate some easy way for you. But if you know more about this kind of built-in function, it will help you a lot. Like these kind of things, minimums, or or maybe something called map or find function. All this kind of built-in function will help you. But since we are just getting started, and that's why I use the easy way to do the compare. So like RB is less than LT, and RB is less than RT. Sorry, is less than RT, and RB is less than LB. Then you will print RB. So I'm going to test this again. Of course, you should have. You might have else. Just print something long. Right? So I'm going to test this program, and now I'm going to run it. Now I have to put my result one more time here and print. So it will give me saying something right bottom. So it's saying 10 is the right bottom, and now you would find the first number from there. Okay, from the right bottom. So in this case, and we found that if it's from the right bottom here, so the first row should be crosswise. What does it mean? It means if 10 is here, and you will find the first row should be 11, 16, and 19. Okay, from here to here. Okay, if the first one is on here, 19, it should be 19, 24, 32, 35. No, it should be from here to here, clockwise. Okay, clockwise. It will go from here, spinning from this way, It always spinning from this way, because think about that. The first row is here, right? It should be like this. That is the first row. And no matter how you spin this table, and you can always find the one from here to here. All right. So let's just finish the this one. So how am I going to find the first row? The first row would be, of course, it would be from the left corner, right? From the right bottom corner, and that's why we have the index from the right. So let's just say the right bottom, and that's why the right bottom should be from the n subtract 1 and n subtract 1 from this, from here, right? From here, this corner, n subtract 1 to n subtract 1. That's the first one. And the second one, in the first row, it should be 11, this one. And what does it mean? What's the index for this one? It means, of course, it should be n subtract 1 and n subtract 2, right? And you will go here. because the n subtract 1 shouldn't change, because that is the first row, the whole row from here. And now you go 16. 16, of course, it should be n subtract 1 and n subtract 3. And the fourth one is n subtract 1 and subtract 4, right? So if you have only equal to 4, and it's easy to just have this index like this combination for the first one, the first row, for the first row. But how are we going to convert them into a real function? A real loop. Use a Python loop to do this, and then you can have second row and also the second row and the second row and the first row and the fourth row. So that's why let's just finish the first one. So you have the for loop, okay? Or you might be not using for loop, or using while, and you might have maybe just use for loop, because it's from the n subtract 1, 2, 3, 4. So I may just use a for loop for loop like let's just have a variable called p in, and have a range, and you can have the range 1 to n, or n plus 1, or 0 to n, or just n. They return different range, but if you have just a range equal to n, you got to remember the first one would be 0. Okay, the first one would be 0. So the p will be 0. Okay, so keep in mind with that. So it should be like this. Table 2D. The first one, it would be n subtract 1, and the second one should be n subtract p, and subtract what? Why? Because p is 0. Like for example, if n subtract 1, it should be 1, right? So that's why you have to subtract more 1. And the second one, if n subtract 2, so n minus 1, because the next one is 1, and have to do 1 more. And then, so then you can keep like this. You know what I mean? Hopefully you understand why do I have to subtract 1 more 1, because p is start from 0. Okay? All right? And now let's just do the 1 more block, because that is not enough, because we just load the first row. For the second row, we will repeat this block, right? The second row, repeat this one. Let me tell you. Just come over here. I copy and paste. If the second row, it should be n subtract 2. But for here, it will repeat the same. Am I correct? And that's why we have to define something like this. like probably this one we call row. Okay, R in range, again is n, right? But this time you have to do this. Okay, do this, and for the first one R should be 0. That's why I subtract R and subtract 1. It would be just for the first row. And the second one for the R, it should be 1. And now you will roll the second row, and now R is equal to 1, and that's why you can and subtract 2. Okay? And of course for the third row, the first one, first row, the first row. I know you guys might feel a little bit confused because J4 is getting a little bit hard for the computer context. And after this lesson, we probably go back to the HTML. We will do some funny things. But after that, we will go back to J1 because that is very easy and everyone can do it. But let's just working on the J4 now. So here the first row is just subtract 3. So our this looks still working, right? Because it is 2, R equal to 2 for the first row, and now you just have n subtract 2 subtract 1, so which is n subtract 3. And of course this one just keep changing from 1 to 4. And now I will just remove this comment, remove all of them, right? Remove all of them. And now I'm going to run my program. Before I run it, I have to put this value into something to hold it. Like, for example, I have an output list. So I have output. And for here, you need to say again is output. Let's just row output. Okay, and you put this value into the row output dot append. All right, and after the loop, you should put it. You should put the row output to the output, the table output. Okay. Now you should have row out, something like this. But of course, you can do the print because they just want you to print the first one and the second one. Like you might just print here, do the print. But what I want is like I would like to just have them to input to the output one, and we will have the final output, and then you can print it after that. All right. So let's just try this code and see it work or not. And I'm gonna run it. Just click run and come over here and grab this one. And now I should have something like this. Oh, I forgot to print it out. So I have to print output. I print output, and I also remove or comment out this one. It won't confuse me. And now I do it one more time, and now that's the output we have, and I will have 10, 11, 16, 19, 12, 19, 25, 31. So I'm copied all the way here. Now I put it into here. Now let's just compare. Let's just compare. All right, so that's how we can restore the table back to the original version, like 10, 11, 16, 19, and then this one just keep growing, and keep growing. All right, and yeah, I think I only finished the right bottom one, right? And today, after the homework is you are going to finish for the left top, right top, and also the left bottom, and you are going to finish this block, and this block, so that you can have the output like the right bottom one. Okay, so let me just rephrase what I did here. What I did here is just I used two loops. As you can see, here is the first for loop to find out the first row, and that's why I find the 10 and 10, and then I find the second one and the third one and fourth one. That's how we loop all the way from here to here. But I have to go all the way up. All the way up to from the first one, second one, and third one and fourth one, and this is how we have the second loop here, and this loop, and the R just keep changing. The R keep changing from here to here, and that's why in order to change them, I put the R here to use the end to subtract it, so it can go back all the way back. All right. So in this question, it just have you to understand the 2D table, how you can access them. That's what they want you to do. But what you like what I told you, I did it for this part. I just try my best to list all of them, like try to list, like I always take the note, like take the note, like, and subtract something 2 and subtract 1, and I try to do it by hand. Like if you, of course, you have the paper, you will work it very fast. But since I have to show you in my computer, that's why I have to type it. But yeah, if you are working on the rest of them, and you should use the paper and the pencil to work on that, because when you are doing the contest, you have no time to do like what I did here. Okay. So once again, today's homework is like I finished this part, and we are all getting close to the answer. And so what I want you to do, you do the same thing like what we did here, and just finish the rest of them, like 1, 2, 3 part. Okay. And if you are done, and please send me an email to my email address called help@dataera.ca. Okay, I'm gonna copy it here, and once you're finished, please let me know. All right, so probably if one of you guys can finish it, and next week you are going to do a demo for us, and I'm not going to finish the rest of the code. Yeah, of course I will put it in the WeChat, and also if you have the email and you can send me an email, I may just send you the code, like the file, so I don't have to just I may try to send a TXT file into the WeChat and see if your mom or your dad can download it for you. They might not be able to do that. Okay, and I think that's it for today, because I'm using my data, my phone data, and I have to stop because it will use up my data for this month. All right, sorry about that, guys. And again, I will switch back to my home internet, and you still can ping me in the chat box, and I still can talk to you. All right, that's it for today. All right, thank you. And you don't have to complete it, but you might try, because in the intermediate level, I want you guys at least can solve this kind of problem, at least, because that is the way we go, right? You have to fully understand how Python can use the list within a list, so which represent an array in 2 dimensions. So you have the two dimensions array. That's what I want you to do. And now you can have the output. Of course, you can continue to working on the output, like how you can print them out. Like what I mean is, like, you print it first one with space, and the second one with space, and then third one with the space, and how to output this output to your user, to the output. All right. Of course, you can just do here. Use the print of here. Just print it out, and you have to put the space or something like this. But I don't like this way, because if you we always want to have one result, and then we in the output we call it render, and then you will output all in once. So that is the logic, the business logic, and you get from this code. Okay, in my sense, and don't forget there's one more way is, like, if else you don't have to follow what I did here. You might use the minimum. You find out the minimum value to find out where you should go, and that's also you can change your program to use the minimum, or use other function to find out which corner is the minimum value of your table. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much. Have a good night.